Hello and welcome to this review of the S4 Ultra smartwatch. Now this watch comes to us via, I believe, AliExpress, and if you've never seen one of my reviews, then you don't know. I'm going to open this up to show you what comes out of the box, and then go away and wear it for several days, and come back with my full, fair, and honest opinion. Okay, so we will have the charging cradle type charger. We have the watch itself that will have a protective covering on it. So let's peel that off, shall we? Okay, here is what the watch face looks like. It comes with 1, 2, 3 different styles of band. And this looks like these will just clip right in with the little sliding holder thing, the little pin that will put it on there. I'll do that off camera. This is what it will look like on the wrist. So that's it. That and an instruction manual here. And the manual looks fairly easy to read. The app here is going to be RD Fit. That's RDFIT. Let me press and hold some buttons here and see if there's any battery out of the box. There are 3 buttons here, one on the top, one on the bottom, and then like a crown button in the middle. Let me press and hold the bottom one and see if anything happens there. There we go. It's coming to life. So it does have some battery out of the box. Let's swipe down, get into some settings here. You can choose your dial. I'm trying to get to brightness. I don't know where that would be offhand. But let me not get too far into the weeds here. Let me go wear it, come back with my full, fair, honest review, and you know, you'll see that in just a few seconds through the magic of editing. It is the S4 Ultra smartwatch. Alright, so I've been wearing this watch for a while. Let's dive in and take a look. First of all, you do have an option for an always-on display, and I'll show you some of those features and settings in just a minute. You would get there in the settings here, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Here you have the main screen, and to make it come to life, you just press this middle button here, and if you spin that crown, you can change the watch faces directly from that little controller, that crown on the side. Just a caveat, warning I guess more so, is when you have this on and you spin that dial, even by accident, you're going to change your watch face. So just beware that if you bump this thing while the screen is illuminated, you will change the watch face most likely. Anybody who's watched my reviews, and there are many of them on my fitness tracker and smartwatch review playlist on YouTube, know that I like a nice simple display with a nice big digital clock so I can just look down and quickly and simply read the time. So we got it to come to life. If we swipe from right to left, here we get into sports modes, and there are many sports modes here. And I'm going to say this right now at the onset, there is no GPS in this watch. Now, the company advertising it where I bought it claimed it is a GPS watch, but it is not. Right in the user manual, it will ask you what kind of map you want. And if you want sort of the satellite map, it tells you you need to be paired to the app and you have to start your activity from the app, which means it's pulling location services from your phone and pushing it to your watch. It is not a GPS watch. Otherwise, if I did a running activity or an outdoor walking activity, it would pop up and try to find the satellites, and if I'm indoors, it would say can't find the satellites, but it doesn't do any of that because it doesn't have GPS. So false advertising right there. I used to think these companies just sold so many smart watches. Sometimes they made mistakes. I think it's a little more nefarious than that. I think they just flat out misrepresented the watch, all right? Does not have GPS. So there's a lot of sports modes in here. Oh, let me get back there. And you'll find one you like. I've taken it on a hike. I've gone frisbee golfing. I've done bowling with it, and I'll show you that in the app. So there's a lot in there. Here is your heart rate in beats per minute, and it does this fairly credibly, I would say. And I'll let this go in real time so you can see what it looks like and how much time it takes. The bezel of the watch is metal. It's like a silver face on the bezel here facing you. And it's just got simple arrows on the north and south, and then one little notch on the right here. So I like it. It's nice and clean, easy to read. I think it looks good on the wrist. If we swipe again, we get to the weather, and this is pulling in from your phone when tethered via Bluetooth, okay? So it gives you the percent chance of some sort of precipitation, the current temperature, the low, the high, and you can swipe up and you will get the forecast for the next week. So that's really nice, and it holds it in memory, which this is really, really good. I like having the forecasts for the next several days at a glance to know what the weekend looks like, etc. So that's all good. Here is your blood pressure, and I'll let this measurement go in real time so you can see how long it takes. This is not a medical device, so don't trust these numbers, and don't make any health decisions based on the numbers you get from this, because it is not a medical device. This is saying 108/72. I know that to be lower than I get at my doctor's office, so there you go. Take that with a grain of salt. But I think these numbers can be useful in a relative sense, where if you take your blood pressure often and you're paying attention and you can see when it deviates, then you know to go see a real doctor and get a real blood pressure test. All right, here is SpO2, or blood oxygen saturation. Again, I'll let this go in real time so you can see how long it takes. This is a pretty neat feature. I like it. We'll just let it go. There you go. 98. It's going to look being like 97, 98% blood oxygen saturation, which is in line with everything I know. And now we're back to the beginning. Now, when I'm lit up here on the watch face, if I press that lower right button, this will turn the display off, but in this case, I have the always on display turned on, so it's going to go to that always on clock that I chose. There were two choices here, and I like this one. So that's what's going on there. If I press that button again and press it again, that gets me into my settings, all right? And if I were to press the top right one, that would get me into my sports mode. So let's go ahead and get in the settings and run through all this. You can make and take Bluetooth calls when tethered via your phone. When tethered to your phone via Bluetooth low energy. This works. It's got a built-in speaker and microphone in here, and all is well there. You can get your messages. It'll push it, SMS messages from your phone to your watch. I've tested this. It works just fine. Let me go ahead and delete that guy. There's another way to get to your sports modes. There's the pedometer. There's your sleep tracking from the night before. It gives you your deep sleep and light sleep, and we'll get more in the app later. You've got a music controller. When tethered via Bluetooth, you control the music on your smartphone. There's your heart rate. There's your blood pressure. There's your SpO2, or blood oxygen saturation. It will take skin temperature and then calculate a body temperature. So this is it's more and more common, but it didn't used to be so common just a year or 18 months ago in many of these devices. So it's nice that they're now giving you a body temp estimation. Again, it's not a medical device, but you know, it's useful, again, to use in a relative sense to see if your temperature goes up, you might be running a fever, then go see a real doctor and take your real temperature. But this seems to be spot on for me when I compare it to a fingertip temperature device. So good stuff. You can change your menu styles. There are several different ones you can look at. Again, those who know me know I like simple, easy to read sort of list style. Let's see, where are we? It's got a calendar. You can use Siri. There's your weather. There's a camera trigger. When you're connected to your phone via Bluetooth Low Energy, you can use this as a trigger to snap a picture from your phone. It's got a calculator, some breath training here. The QR code, it's got a timer. It's got a stopwatch. It's got a Find My Phone feature here. And this is where you would look at your tracks. Again, you would have to engage in an outdoor activity with location services turned on, using your phone, and it'll pull in the tracks from your smartphone. I can't say this enough. This is not a GPS watch. It's got an alarm. It's got a 28-day cycle tracker. You can get the settings here now. Here are your dials to choose from. We spun through those earlier. And an interesting note, the little white thing you see here makes it look like maybe a 3D bubble or something, like the crystal of the watch is domed or something like that. That's just white coloration on the digital display to make it look like it has some 3D depth when it really does not. All right, let's get back there. Here's your dynamic island feature. You can set your screen off time. I have it set to never. That's kicking on that always on display. Brightness adjustment, I have it turned all the way up right now for the purposes of this review and making it easy to see on camera. You can turn that down. Usually I have it on its lowest setting to save battery life. Here is your always on display settings. I have this enabled, and you can change your style from that display to this more common analog looking display. All right, so that's what that would look like in your always on situation there. Let's go back, and let me switch that back to the digital always on clock. And let's see, there's so many settings in here. Sometimes it's hard to get back to where you want it to be. Here are the settings. Let's see, always on settings, ever bright style. I want to go back to the digital one, so there we go. Boom. And let's go back. Key definitions, you can change what these various buttons do. Here's gesture, that's lift your wrist to turn the display on. I turn that off to save battery life. Vibration intensity, do not disturb mode. You can set a password. Here's where you would change your languages if you so wish. Power saving mode, battery life, time setting. This is one of the few watches where you can actually change the time and date directly from the watch itself. All right, and that's one of the more common questions I get in the comments on these videos is how do I set the time? Well, there it is. There it is right there. If you don't want to do that manually, you just turn on sync it with the app, and it will pull in the time and date from your phone when you sync it. Here's an NFC setting. I have not used this. I don't really know how to use it, but it is here. And there were some various comments online saying it does have it, it doesn't have it. There was some debate. This does have that, okay? Here's where you would connect to your phone via Bluetooth. There's the QR code Bluetooth call. That's where you make that. Factory reset, factory reboot. You can turn it off. You can hit the SOS. And let's go back one more. Here is your about screen. And yes, I said it's the S4 Ultra watch, but if you look at this, it's really the RDJ113 smartwatch, just kind of branded as the S4 Ultra to make it seem perhaps like something it's not. Just an FYI there. If we go back to the main screen and I swipe up, that is a shortcut way to get to my messages, which you saw me delete earlier. If I swipe down, you can get into your settings again where we just were. Here's that info. Here is the menu style. And here's where you would connect to your Bluetooth from your to your phone and do all that stuff. So that's the watch. Let me go look at the app and share that with you, and then come back with my full, fair, and honest final thoughts. The app here is called RD Fit, and to head off about a gazillion other comments that you are about to leave and ask what the app is, it is RD Fit. That is the name of the app you install on your phone for the S4 Ultra smartwatch. Okay, so yeah, it's a 1.53 inch display on the watch itself, as you see. The app, I've reviewed this app before in previous smartwatches. I like it. Here is where you would click this recycle button or swipe down to sync the data from your smartwatch to the app here. Here is your sleep from the night before, all around sleep, your light sleep, your deep sleep breakdown, when you fell asleep, when you woke up, and you can go back through previous days and get all your statistics there. It works well, and you can see I've been wearing this multiple days, so the sleep seems to do pretty well. Here is where you would manually go into your sports modes with your location services, turn on, trigger the exercise, and then it would push that location data to your watch. And I can look at the records I've done here, and there's a bowling event that I did about a week ago. And it really doesn't give you a whole lot other than your maximum heart rate, your minimum heart rate, your average heart rate, and it will give you your time engaged in the activity itself, okay? And then here is a hike I did over the weekend, where it's just a little, it was around 6.5 miles. A real GPS device said it was about 6 miles, so, you know, give or take a little bit either way based on the location services of the phone. But it gives you, again, your maximum heart rate, minimum heart rate, average heart rate, number of steps, your minutes per mile, and your estimated kilocalorie burn. It gives you those basic statistics for all activities. So there you go. That's the sports modes. Here are your blood pressure readings, the ones I've taken today. And again, you can scroll back over previous days and look at those. Your blood oxygen saturation. Here's your body temp. Okay, you have to do these kind of manually, and then it will keep track. There's probably a way to set this up so it's automatic. Let's go look at that right now. No, it's not permission settings. It would be, oh, we'll get there. I will find it. There's probably a way to turn on the automatic, let's see, heart rate monitoring, temperature, body temp. Maybe not. So I don't see it offhand. That's probably why I don't have it set up right now. But that's your first screen. Here's your device, S4 Ultra. Tells me I'm connected. It's got a watch face market with many, many different watch faces in here. You'll most likely be able to find one you like. Here's where you would turn on the take a photo from your phone using the watch as a trigger. Find your device. You have a sedentary reminder. If you sit too long, you can set an interval that says, hey, you know, if I sit too long, watch vibrate and tell me to get up and move. You got a drinking water reminder, medication reminder if you so wish, alarm clock, motion gesture. That would be to turn it on and off, your lift your wrist. You can set that to turn on and off between certain hours. Here's where you can change your screen illumination. Here is where you can toggle on and off the weather sync to push that to your watch. Contacts, card bag, and then there's some personal information here. Your avatar, your gender, your height, your weight, various settings in here. Here's where you would set your permissions, your measurement units, temperature units. You get it, and there's the about information. RD Fit version 3.8.9. Let me check for a new version. I've already got it. So that's it for the app. I really like it. It's good, it's comprehensive, it's easy to understand, and it does what it needs to do. So here's my bottom line on this smartwatch. It's a nice display, it's nice and big. It's advertised as IP68 waterproof, which is good, but the same watch in other advertisements I've seen is IP67, so that's a little dodgy. I'm not sure whether it's waterproof or not. It's advertised to have a 300 milliamp hour battery. The display is 360 by 360 pixels, which is good. I like it. It's an easy to read display. As you've seen, it's got an always-on display option. It's got that built-in compass, and I didn't show you that. Let me get back to that here, where it's got a compass. Let's see, I would press this twice. There's the pedometer, and I think somehow the first time through here I missed the compass and didn't tell you about that. There it is, right there, the compass setting. So that's cool that it has that. Yeah, I just skipped that. So it's got that, continuous heart rate, weather, blood pressure, SpO2, sleep tracking, body temp. This is selling on AliExpress right now for $27.67. I would say if it has the features you like and it's the form factor you like, definitely check this one out. I think it's one of the more attractive watches I've reviewed. However, some of the advertising seems to be false. Some companies seem to advertise it as a GPS watch when it is not. So just beware. If you like it, check it out. I'll drop a link below. This channel is typically about kayaking and my kayak adventures. I do health and fitness tracking reviews, device reviews, just to monetize this channel a little bit. So I hope you understand that. If you want to help, just leave a comment or click like or somehow engage with my videos on this channel. Go check out my smartwatch and fitness tracker playlist on my YouTube channel. Come check me out at davethekayaker.com. And if you'd like to say thanks, go to my YouTube page and there's a donation screen there, or I'll drop a link where you can buy me a virtual coffee for $4 to say thank you for these reviews. They do take me time. I wear them for multiple days. This is one I bought with my own money, and I can only do that with the ad revenue I generate through my YouTube channel, or for people doing things like donating and buying me virtual coffees. That all helps keep this all going, and what little ad revenue I generate, I invest right back into the channel in terms of buying these devices to bring you more reviews. So there you go, the S4 Ultra, otherwise known as the RDJ113. Go check it out. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. I'll be back soon with 3 more smartwatch reviews that are on their way to me right now. Take care, stay healthy, be fit, and hopefully if the good Lord is willing and the creeks don't rise, we will talk soon.